This is working. It's kind of like the hair growth. Okay, I've been working on my head now for 3.5 months. It's more like 4 now. And I've got a whole layer of new hair there that you can't quite see.
Wow.
Problem is there not a good enough blood supply to make this thing go like crazy and look like this. You know, the side stuff. So you do the lasers, and the lasers will energize and get the cells wherever you're hitting them to make more energy. But what if there's not a good enough blood supply? If there's not a good enough blood supply, you're still not going to go gangrene, right? It's not like you have frostbite, you have a limb cut off, but there's not enough blood to really feed the hair cells, the follicles. And this also applies too with muscles that won't loosen up. So you got somebody with like a plantar fasciitis issue, and their whole foot, you feeling that? It feels like leather, dry, hard leather. There's no way these lasers are going to make an impact right away. Impossible. They have very poor blood supply because everything is so hard. So you laser, maybe 6-7 times, 20-30 minutes each time. Person doesn't feel any better. They're looking at you like, what are you talking about? You said this would help. And the doc's going, oh, well, I thought it would too. But they don't have a good enough blood supply. So what do? Well, you now just let them be. Give them 1.5 months, 2 months. Don't do anything. Or treat some other areas on them. Just forget about the foot for a while. They'll still have their pain, they'll still have their problem, but the body will now grow a new blood supply into that area, a deeper, more rich blood supply. And you come back 1.5 months, 2 months later and laser them again, whole different story. Wow. It's really neat. But the lasers don't grow blood vessels. The lasers just give you the energy so your body can do what it needs to do. How does it grow new blood vessels? I have no idea. I have no idea how it does that, but it needs energy, and the lasers provide the lasers are energy in themselves, but they just improve the pathways to energy creation for us to live. It's like we don't get our energy from lasers, right? We couldn't live on lasers. We couldn't live on sunlight. We need to eat food. Plants live on sunlight. So we take our food and then the energy and the glucose and then the oxygen that we breathe too. There's energy in that bond, that double bond between the two O's, the two oxygens there. There's energy in there. And the mitochondria have figured out how to reorient all these bonds, release energy and store it in a different way in this ATP molecule. And that's what our bodies run on. It's just like gasoline in your car. It's from petroleum, but can you put oil in your car? You can try, but not going to go very far. So it has to be refined. And all the refinery process is, I don't know if you know this, but you just put it in these tall tubes and you just heat it. And the denser tar sinks to the bottom. And then you get these separation layers. And the gasoline for cars is one of the layers. Jet fuel is a little higher than that. It just separates, it's a distillation process. So if you look that up, it's actually pretty neat. But for us, we need to do this energy conversion, and our mitochondria are the ones that do. Our mitochondria in our cells are what do that. You have hundreds of them in every cell of your body, and you have to make the energy. I'm here focusing on muscle relaxation, which involves ATP energy. The only two stumbling blocks are the mitochondria aren't doing the conversion properly, or you're just not getting the oxygen and glucose there. Okay? Our son was in swimming, and for their last meet, they all shaved their heads. He grew all his hair back within 2 months. I've been at this 4 months now, and you can't even tell, unless I have a backlight, you can see all the new hair growth. I don't have a blood supply of a 16-year-old, but it should develop. And that's why when you look at the hair lasers, because there's lasers, caps and stuff like that, they always have a 6-month to a 1-year return policy. Because you're just not going to fix it that quick. And people get discouraged when they don't see the new hair growth right away. And it's like, come on. You've lost it all. And you also notice, too, it's also always over this cap, right? It's hardly ever the sides. You ever wondered that?
I really thought much time about it.
Now you're thinking about it, though, right?
Yeah.
Right? But one of the fascial pathways is the top of the head. The gala aponeurosa is what it's called. It's a thicker piece of fascia. It runs all the way down the back, all the way through the rectus spinae muscles, sacrotuberous ligament, hamstrings, gastrocnemius soleus, all the way to the bottom of the feet. It's all connected. And so if you tighten that back there, you have extra tension here, that could also precipitate the slow hair loss over time. So it's almost always slow.